Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night loving kindness class. My name is Alex. Wonderful to be here with you as usual. So, like I do every time, I would like you to say hello because I want to know who's out there. Especially if you're new, if it's your first time at a class for the Dharma Bum Temple or the first time at a loving kindness class, I would love to hear from you. So in the chat box, just say hi, where you're from, and then Travis will tell me in just a little bit when I ask him. If you're not new, of course you know to say hello anyway. And so I would still like to hear from you again. Helps me feel engaged, and it's really helpful a lot. I am a hermit by nature. That's what I like to do. I like to stay at home and hibernate and do my own thing, and occasionally go to the store, and that's pretty much it. And that's okay. And my interactions are kind of when I want to do them. And usually I would hibernate, most of the time, and pre-pandemic, and when I would come to class, it was like, oh, isn't this great? All these people are here and I can have my interaction time, and it was really wonderful. I really enjoyed it. Now I don't have that. So I just see you, I'm just looking at a little light right there on the camera, and I can't see anybody. So say hi and help me feel engaged and help me feel connected to you, and maybe you'll feel connected to me too. And Travis, because Travis is here too. All right. If you're thinking, oh, that's Alex, he just seems to be in a good mood again. I wasn't like a half hour ago. And it's amazing how just on the ride here from where I live, my perspective can change so quickly. Because I had what I would have considered early on, about a half hour ago or so, a really bad day. And I would say that because a couple of things happened, and I thought to myself as I was on my way over here, I'm just gonna tell them what a bad day I had, and maybe spin that into something positive, because no one likes a negative Nancy, right? And plus, that's what we try to do in Buddhism. That's that's part of the right effort to generate positive mind states and to keep them there. And so, on the way here, I was just listening to one of my favorite podcasts called Gymcastic, and I just felt in a better mood. And I realized, on the way here, that what I called a bad day was probably still better than 95% of the people on earth. They wish they had my day. And I know that because I woke up in a warm bed that was comfortable, and I got up and I had coffee and I had dinner, and I got on my computer and I worked from my home. And all of these things, and I was thinking about, what bad day? What bad day did you have? And I said, yep, that's right, Other Alex, you're right. And as I spend a lot of time by myself, I am in conversation with myself a great deal. And so that's how my conversations go. So again, I'm happy to be here. My day was amazing, and I hope yours was too. So Travis, has anyone said anything?
Yes.
Nice.
So Amy said, hi, Alex, ready for some loving kindness tonight?
Right on. Hi, Amy.
Jean said, hi, Alex, my cats and I are glad to be here tonight.
Awesome. Love it. Hi, Jean.
Marisa said, hello, all.
Marisa, thank you for your lovely pictures on Facebook. I appreciate them.
Katie said, good evening, everyone.
Hello, Katie.
Jennifer said, hi, Alex. Meatball and I are happy to see you.
Meatball. Hi, Jen.
And then Jeremy said, hi, Alex, good to see you.
Jeremy, my old buddy. All right. Good to see you or hear from you. So, and no one identified themselves as new. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, nobody's new. Okay. All right. So let's do it to it. There's another thing I was thinking, like in meditation last night, things just come to me sometimes. And I was thinking about this kind of style of meditation that I do. And because I got to thinking about all the suffering in the world. Sometimes that could be a bit daunting, but I really started to think about that, especially here in the US, in California and San Diego, where I am, and most of you are as well. But wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, it's probably the same. And whether there's a pandemic or not, or a lot of other kinds of turmoil or not, a lot of people are suffering, like pretty badly. And now that we're in a pandemic, it's even worse. There are some rays of hope with a vaccine, which I'm really, really excited about. But still, there's a great deal of suffering going on in the world right now. And a lot of this suffering that's going on in the world right now is exacerbated by how we deal with the thoughts in our head. Because normally with the thoughts in our head that are negative, and we usually meet those with either more negativity or a lot of resistance or a lot of deflection. And we never just try to look at it with a lot of loving kindness, not loving kindness for, necessarily what's going on in the world, but that's part of it. But a lot of the times we forget to deal with the loving kindness we should have for ourselves because we're punishing ourselves for these kind of the way our reaction to these thoughts. When they get us down and they get us angry, they're just punishing us, right? And like they say, you're not punished for your anger, you're punished by your anger. I don't know if Buddha actually said that, but it's a saying that I agree with. I think he actually did say that, I can't remember. And then I remembered how important that loving kindness for oneself is. That when we get like this, a lot of the times we direct our loving kindness outward, but a lot of the times the loving kindness we need to direct is inward towards ourselves. For, when we get really upset with what's going on in the world, we watch the news, we get upset, we just think about the news, or we think about something that's going on in our life, and we get upset. These are all the things that, all the ways that we punish ourselves, right? With all this kind of negativity, and then, doing whatever it is that we do to self-sabotage and all those types of things. And it got me to thinking, I really like the way that I do this class now and that we do loving kindness meditation now because it's so important and I really like doing this, and so I'm going to continue to do it for a while. All right, that's all I have to say. Is everybody ready? So just allow your eyes to close. Just kind of get settled with your seated position. Taking a deep breath, maybe. Just focusing on our breath at the base of the nostrils, feeling the air go in and out as you breathe. If you have a thought that arises, just know that you have this thought that's arising and just let it go and come back to the present. Just for the next few moments, just rest as gently as you can in the sensations of the breath. So to begin our practice of loving kindness, let's just call to mind our benefactor or a benefactor. And of course, you know, a benefactor is someone who has shown you great love and great kindness. You just think of this person and you smile, your heart smiles because you're calling to mind all that they've meant for you, all that they've done for you. And to do this practice of loving kindness for them, you can either repeat phrases for them, phrases like, may you be happy, may you be safe from inner and outer danger, may you be well in body and mind, may you be at peace and live at ease in this world. Or simply just radiate loving kindness to them, and however you understand that word. I like to imagine a beam of loving kindness going from my heart to theirs. It's nice and warm and it's vibrating, and I'm smiling and I'm picturing them in my mind's eye and they're smiling. You can have as many benefactors as you want. They could be living or not, it doesn't matter. So just for the next few minutes, let's do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. So just shifting our focus from doing this practice for our benefactor to now imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us. We can picture them in our mind's eye, just shooting their own beam of loving kindness to you. This should be easy to accept because you know that they've already been so wonderful and caring and giving to you. Sometimes it helps to place your hand over your heart to see if you can let all of your benefactor's loving kindness into your own heart. If there's any resistance, that's okay. Just acknowledge it and take a deep breath and smile and just see if you can let a little more of that in. So for the next few moments, we'll just imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. And now, probably the most important part of this practice is our ability to have this loving kindness for ourselves and be able to do this practice for ourselves freely, unencumbered, unimpeded by thoughts of negative self-worth. Because if we can have this experience of loving kindness in our own heart, it would naturally flow outward in all aspects of our life. And we would want everyone to feel as good as we feel. So just call to mind your own wish to be happy, your own wish to be safe from inner and outer danger, to be healthy, happy, to be well in all aspects of your life. And you can either repeat these same phrases to yourself, or you can just imagine your heart vibrating and just growing bigger, warmer, directing that loving kindness in on your own heart. However you want to do it is fine. And so for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for ourselves. And smile, of course. Now, the last part of our meditation, we can explore the limitless aspect of our heart and extend loving kindness, metta, unconditional friendliness, and goodwill, however you want to understand that word metta, to all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. And we'll do that to conclude this meditation. Just open your eyes when you're ready. And just take the next minute to stretch your arms and stretch your legs, keeping those thoughts of loving kindness about you while you do so. And if you have a question, a comment, something, just want to share something, that's okay. Just there's a chat box there, and just type something into the chat box. I would love to hear from you. We'll begin in about 30 seconds. Ooh, okay, that was a little bit longer than normal, but that's okay. It felt too good. Okay, so like I said before, there is a chat box there. I take questions about the instructions, about Buddhism. I'd like to understand your thoughts about, what that experience of meditation was like for you. The great thing about that kind of sharing is that, it's your experience, so there's no right or wrong answers. It's your experience. That's fine. And so while you're thinking of questions or anything like that, there is something that I kind of wanted to share, and that was really meaningful to me, and that is, I think I've shared this a few times. I have one friend who is almost exclusively my benefactor, as my friend Linda. And, my friend has had a real tough go of it the last couple of years. Like a really tough go. And I haven't heard much from her. But I never worried, because I know she was in a difficult spot and just was not in a place where she could really communicate. And it's been almost 2 years since I've heard from her. And it doesn't matter, because she was my benefactor almost every time. And I can't even tell you how much she's meant to me. And so I never, gave up, and I did this practice for her. I would imagine her doing this practice for me, and it always made me feel really, really good, whether when I first started doing it or recently. And I think it was just like 3 days ago, I got a message from her that she's doing well, and thank you for all the loving kindness and all of the good vibes and good thoughts, and again, all the loving kindness that I did. And she said it must have worked, because I'm better now, and thank you so much for everything. And I went to I talked to her, and she's doing great. She looks good, and I'm just so happy. With a lot of this COVID-y stuff going on and a lot of bad news, it was welcome to get such wonderful good news, and hopefully even some more validation that this practice works. And so I was just really overjoyed that happened. And even though I had my shitty day, whatever that is, I still had, it was still pretty darn amazing, and my week has been amazing, and just so filled with lots of gratitude for lots of things. And if we can all just do our best to focus on what's good in our lives, even with all the fear and uncertainty, going on in the world. We'll be better off for it. And the reason we focus on this a lot, because if we do, then not a whole lot of negativity will be able to kind of penetrate this kind of armor of loving kindness. Right? So anyway, I just kind of wanted to share that that's something that happened and it was pretty darn wonderful. Okay, Travis, anybody?
Not yet.
Oh my God, you guys, really? So, more good news. So let's stick to that. There is a vaccine, and in the last couple of days, there's been a lot of videos of frontline workers and a lot of elderly folks getting vaccinated for COVID, and potentially saving their lives. And that's been a really, really amazing thing and a wonderful thing that's happened. I am, very much pro-vaccine. I think they're the greatest invention in the history of civilization. And no one pays me to say that. I have been accused a lot online of being a pharma shill, which is a funny word. I think that's hilarious. No, I just recognize good science. And if anything that lessens the suffering of human beings, I'm going to be pro, right? And so there's one that just was for the Pfizer BioNTech one, and then the Moderna one should be approved for emergency authorization Friday-ish. So that's really, really good. And I think a lot about the lives that are going to be saved, because 300,000 people so far have lost their lives. Just in California, there were 42,000 cases a couple days ago, or yesterday, and about the same today. And so this couldn't come at a better time. And one of the things that's concerning is that there are people who have a lot of vaccine hesitancy for various reasons, very valid reasons. A lot of the Black community, very valid reasons for being vaccine hesitant. But the interesting thing is that one of these vaccines was developed by a Black woman. And isn't that amazing? She developed it herself. That's Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her first name right. Kizzmekia, I can't remember which one it is. And so that's pretty amazing. And there are a lot of people who like to stoke a lot of fear and about that, but these are very safe. I'm convinced. And if you get a chance, if you're a frontline worker, or whenever your chance comes to get the vaccine, please do. Please do. We're all about saving lives and making sure that people aren't harmed in any way. And so reducing the spread of this terrible virus will go a long way in doing that if we get a vaccine. So that's my shilling, right? That's my soapbox. It's a subject I'm pretty passionate about, and when it comes my turn, I will be there. I will be there. As a matter of fact, I just got like 3 or 4 other vaccines, that you should get as an adult. So anyway, I kind of wanted to share that a little bit. So there's lots of good things too.
Marisa had said, beautiful, thanks for sharing about your friend. And then Jennifer said, I really like radiating energy towards my benefactor rather than repeating the phrases. I find it easier to feel my heart that way.
Yeah, and that's something that I just started doing not too long ago, the radiating part. And, for a long time, whenever I did it myself or whenever I heard anyone else do it, it was always phrases. And that's fine. And the phrases are fine, but, I stopped doing a lot of the phrases, the traditional ones in the order that they like to do it, just because it all sounded so rote. My heart didn't connect to it. And so it all just felt so empty for me. And then I still did phrases, but I did phrases that were kind of more meaningful to me and still had this kind of loving and kind intention. And those are the same phrases that I use when I say, hey, do these phrases. And these are just the ones that, and in the order that I feel connected to. And then there was a monk, and I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Tom Jeff or it may have been Tom Jeff. I can't remember. Who just said, just radiate. Just radiate. It says it in the sutra, in the Metta Sutta, the sutta, radiating loving kindness to the whole world. And so he goes, well, just radiate. If these words are not really meaningful to you, even the ones you make up yourself, then radiate. And however you understand that word. And so I give you like a couple of suggestions, and just the idea is that you kind of take these suggestions and just kind of do something that works for you, that is beneficial for you, that is kind of warm your own heart. And one of the things that I love that Tom Jeff says a lot is that experiment. It's okay to experiment and see what works for you. And that's what I like about this practice. It's just not like some one thing, this one rote thing that you learned, and that's always the way it is. This particular practice, these particular phrases, this particular mantra, this particular anything else. And that the Buddha encourages you just to kind of hear the teachings, and there's a lot of way to put these teachings into practice, and just listen to the wise people. And then take their suggestions and just kind of see what will work for you. Right? That's going to produce the result that you want. So anyway, that's it. Thank you. Thanks for the comments. So I don't know if we have any frontline workers who are in this class. But if you are, and you've had the vaccine or are going to get it, let me know. I'd like to know. It'll make me very happy. That's okay. We can be quiet today. You're allowed. And I think it was just a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of times a few months ago, where I talked about it's important to notice when things when your practice is working for you, when you realize kind of the fruits of your practice. because there will be plenty of times when that happens. And then, when I was saying that my friend is better, from, a long illness, and I hadn't heard from her in a long time. And I have no proof that it's a direct result because of this, but I can't help but think that there must have been some benefit, and whatever benefit there was, I'm grateful for. I don't know, but I'm grateful for it. And so whenever anything good comes in your life, be grateful for it. Gratitude is not just about, having gratitude for the trees and the sun and the ocean, and that's nice, but it's kind of like baby gratitude. And baby gratitude is important. I'm not knocking it. It's wonderful. That's still wonderful, but being grateful for people who do good things, and say good things and think good things and good thoughts, just like our motto, think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds. And so being grateful for the people who do these things and being grateful for yourself for doing these things is something that really contributes a lot to your peace of mind, to your kind of own internal kind of wellspring of loving kindness, and I don't know if anything I did helped my friend or not, but boy, am I grateful that she's well. And boy, am I grateful that my shitty day was still better than 95% of the people out there. Bonked my head. That was one of the things. Don't know if you can see it. But I was kind of, just thinking about that, and, sometimes these things come at me really quickly and I just can't verbalize them really well. And so sometimes I just like to sit back and just kind of soak it in and just be happy and continue to practice. Is like, yes, thank you. Anything else, Travis?
Yes.
Nice.
So Katie shared, I've been focusing more on radiating love and kindness towards those of whom have left my life. Holidays bring up sorrow of the past sometimes, so I'm working through that a little.
Yeah.
Also happy to hear Linda is doing better.
Nice, thank you. And, to your earlier point, Katie, absolutely, this is, this sadness that can overwhelm us at holiday time is now being exacerbated by this incredible spike in COVID cases, and this surge isn't over, and now we're going into another holiday, Christmas, and now there's going to be a surge to a surge, and so you really need to be wary. Oh my God, just stay home. Just stay home. I know it's terrible, and I know that it's really difficult right now, and just without any pandemic stuff, it could be a challenge for a lot of people. It was a challenge for me for many years. It still is sometimes a little bit of sadness that I don't have a family, really, and that although I have been kind of adopted into a family, which is nice, it feels really good. But yeah, that goes. That's just kind of normal stuff, I guess. But I'm glad that you can, find some good in it, Katie. Appreciate it. Is that Katie? Katie. Sorry. Well, thank you guys. It's been wonderful to be here with you today. Let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. And may the benefits of this practice, this meditation, this discussion be received by all beings. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are. Thank you for coming. All right, guys, it was wonderful spending time with you this evening. Have a safe rest of your week, and I will see you next time. I love you all. Bye now.